Despite being the world's fastest growing major economy, India faces the critical issue of creating sufficient employment opportunities. Ahead of the upcoming budget in July, the need for effective strategies to boost job creation are more pressing than ever. Take a look at our next report for more on this.
India's economic landscape is marked by significant growth, yet it faces a critical challenge: joblessness. Despite registering as the fastest pace of job creation in June, achieving sufficient employment opportunities still remains elusive. A recent Reuters survey reveals that 91% of developmental economists and policy experts identify unemployment as the biggest economic challenge for the government over the next 5 years. Compounding the issue is the fact that a majority of India's workforce is part of the informal sector, making accurate unemployment measurement challenging. While government infrastructure spending has surged, private investment has lagged. Economists argue that spurring private investment is crucial to create jobs. Recommendations to the government include removing policy hurdles, raising education standards, and reforming tax structures. The Indian government is considering lowering personal tax rates for certain categories of individuals. A Reuters report indicates that the Modi administration is planning to adjust the tax scheme introduced in 2020. Currently, annual incomes for up to 15 lakhs are taxed at 5 to 20%, while earnings over Rs 15 lakh face a 30% tax rate. The proposed changes aim to ease this steep increase, potentially reducing the tax burden for higher earners. Additionally, the government is exploring lowering personal tax rates for those earning around Rs 10 lakhs annually. This initiative could stimulate economic activity by increasing disposable income and consumer spending. Business Bureau, WION World is One.
And for more on this, we have with us Mr. Anand K. Rathi from Mira Money Asset Management. Thank you so much for joining us on World Business Watch. So I want to begin by asking you, what tax reforms can we expect from the coalition government?
Hi, good morning. Tax reforms may not be much, especially on the corporate side, because the government has already done in the past a lot of rationalization for the corporate. And hence, I think, the more expectation is towards the income tax rates that we individuals pay. I think, last year, with the introduction of new tax regime, the government has already done a big bang reform. So may not be too much can be expected at this point in time. But what I can definitely think of is improving the new tax regime, where the income tax is taxed up to 15 lakh rupees at a 5 to 20%. Maybe we want to, or we expect them to increase it to a larger extent.
Right, sir, but what are the expectations from Indian industries, both small and big?
Small scale and big. I mean, one of the things that both the industry sizes will look at is rationalization of GST. Of course, I think there is continuous meetings that keep happening. RFM was in the meeting last week around 2. So I think a lot of rationalization has to happen on the GST, where ease of filing, ease of credit, ease of claiming can become a lot easier. And the other thing that I think the industry will ask for is definitely rationalization of some bit on excise duty on petrol and diesel products, right? Because that is something that has been lagging for some time. And I think either getting that under the purview of GST or rationalizing a bit more is something that I expect, or at least the industry should expect from the government this time around.
All right. Now, health and savings, these are both crucial, of course. What are the steps that the government do you think is likely to announce for these sectors?
While I don't know whether they will really do it, because I have my doubts whether they will focus too much on taxes on these sectors. But what I strongly believe is that health insurance has taken off very well. So has investing in mutual funds and other schemes. So the industry's need is that why not rationalize the GST that you're charging on health insurance premium? Today, if you actually see, it is charged at 18%, which I think is on a very high side. With the increasing cost of health and inflation, paying an 18% GST on something as important as health insurance, it looks a little bit odd, and I think there needs to be a bit of course correction on the health insurance premium side. Plus, the same applies on the savings, which is via mutual funds and other products. I think paying an 18% by the distributors is also very high, and that is one of the places, if the government wants the savings and the health insurance penetration to increase, they need to reduce the GST from 18% to maybe 12% or to 5%.
All right, that being said, let's also talk about the employment opportunities. Job creation is a major challenge for the government. What measures do you expect in the budget for that?
Yeah, so in my belief, job distress is one of the bigger problems that the economy is facing at the moment. While yes, the economy is growing at 8.2% plus, but rural job creation has been a problem, and that is something that we need, but that the government is also very, cognizant of. And if you see, there have been few measures that they will take to improve the consumption side of rural economy, which will be, maybe use a 1 lakh credit that they've got from RBI to spend a bit more, but I think the government has already done enough on the infrastructure. Maybe they'll keep spending more. If they stopped at 1 lakh crore last time around, they may want to, sorry, if they stopped at 11 lakh crore last time around, they may want to increase it to about 12, 13 lakh crores at this point in time, so that they can spend more on infrastructure. And that infrastructure will end up creating job creation, especially in the unorganized sector. But what I think is also required, it's not just from the government, is that private capex should increase, which has been lagging quite a bit for some time now. I think that is one place where I expect the government to push private capex in the infrastructure space to increase, leading to better job creation.
All right. Well, Mr. Rathi, thank you so much for joining us on World Business Watch with your perspective on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.